If your team doesn't feel valued, nothing else you do as a leader matters. Not your strategy, not your KPIs, not your quarterly plan, none of it. I've worked inside thousands of organizations over 35 years, from Fortune 500 to top government agencies. And here's what I've learned. The leaders who build the strongest, most engaged teams aren't the ones with the best playbooks. They're the ones who people generally feel valued. But most leaders think they're already doing this. They say, I value my people. I tell them all the time. Well, that's the gap. There's a massive difference between saying you value people and then making them feel it. Here are 8 ways to close that gap and address the blind spots that are quietly destroying trust on your team. Before I walk through all 8, I want to give you something for free. One of the most powerful ways to make someone feel valued is how you deliver feedback. And most leaders get it completely wrong. I put together a free guide on how to give feedback as a leader. The link is in the description. Go grab it. Number 1, see the whole person, not just the worker. Know what's going on in their life beyond just their deliverables. Remember what they told you last week and then follow up on it. Acknowledge they exist outside of their job title. When you do that, you send one clear message. You see them as a person, not as a function. Here's where most leaders fall short. They know their team's KPIs better than they know their own people, and their people feel that immediately. You can't manage a human being like a dashboard metric. Number 2, specific recognition over generic praise. Great job is noise. The brain literally filters it out. It's like playing the same background music in every room. Eventually, nobody hears it. Instead, name exactly what they did, why it mattered, and then the ripple effect it created. When recognition is tied to something specific, it lands completely different. Leaders who say, I tell them all the time, are usually delivering what I call wallpaper compliments. Nobody sees wallpaper. This is exactly where my feedback shift model comes in. Behavior, impact, question. Name the specific behavior. Describe the impact it created. Ask a question to open the dialogue. That framework is in the free guide below. Go get it. Number 3, ask their opinion, then actually use it. Nothing signals value faster than being asked what you think. And nothing destroys it faster than being asked and then ignored. Involve people in decisions that affect their work before the decision is made, not after, not as a courtesy. What usually goes wrong? Leaders ask for input as a formality. And over time, they're training their team to stop caring. They wonder why nobody speaks up in meetings. You condition that silence. Number 4, protect their time like it's yours. Unnecessary meetings, last-minute pivots, endless task stacking, all of it sends one message. Your time doesn't matter. Think of it like this. If someone kept borrowing your car and returning it on empty, you stop lending it. That's what happens to discretionary effort when leaders don't protect their team's bandwidth. I had a client who was basically the reason Patrick Lencioni wrote his book, Death by Meetings, and for good reason. They started tracking how much time their senior executives were spending in meetings. Some of them were hitting 65%. Yes, 65% of their week gone. And what they described wasn't productivity. It was Groundhog Day. Same agenda, same room, same conversation, over and over. These were high-performing leaders who felt completely managed by their calendars instead of leading from them. That's not leadership, that's captivity. Defending someone's time is one of the most underrated acts of leadership respect. And this one should sting a little. Leaders complain about low output while simultaneously being the source of the overload. Number 5, invest in their growth, not just their output. People feel valued when a leader sees their potential and does something about it. Stretch assignments, mentorship, skill development, sponsorship. All of it says, I'm paying attention to where you could go, not just what you're doing for me right now. I hear this objection from leaders all the time. What if I invest in training and then they leave? Fair question. Here's the better one. What if you don't train them and they stay? The mistake leaders make, they only develop people they're afraid of losing instead of developing them before they're at risk. The development itself is what keeps them. Number 6, give credit loudly and own the blame quietly. Credit given publicly builds identity and reputation. Ownership over meaningful work signals trust. The leader who consistently says, that was all them, in front of the senior leadership builds fierce loyalty. But leaders who absorb credit upward, distribute the blame downward, even subtly, get clocked by their team immediately. One time is noticed, the repetition becomes reputation. And once that verdict is in, you don't get it back. Number 7, have the hard conversation early. This one might sound counterintuitive in a video about making people feel valued. Stick with me. The leader who cares enough to address something directly, early, and privately is sending a message of deep respect. Letting problems fester says, I don't value enough to invest in your growth. Done right, a direct conversation is one of the highest forms of professional respect. I think of it like a small crack in a windshield. Address it now, it's a $50 fix. Ignore it, it's spiders across the whole glass. Leaders who avoid hard conversations under the banner of being nice are really just prioritizing their own comfort over that person's development. Number 8, follow through on what you said you'd do. Every broken commitment, big or small, sends the same message. You're not worth the follow-through. Consistency between what a leader says and what they do is the foundation of feeling valued. One drop ball is forgiven. A pattern is a verdict. And what leaders don't realize is the cumulative damage. Over-promising in the moment, undelivering over time. Your team is keeping score, even if they never tell you. Trust is built in deposits and broken in overdress. All 8 of these come back to one thing, your mindset as a leader. How you think drives how you show up. As I always say, leaders perpetuate the behaviors they demonstrate and the behaviors they tolerate. So what are you demonstrating? If this resonated, go watch my video on how to communicate like an elite leader. Knowing how to communicate is the foundation for applying everything in this video. I'll see you there.